Hey everybody, this is the Sliders Review. I'm here today to talk to you about Gotham Knights Season 1 Episode 2. I have no idea what the title of this is. All I have to say is that I'm starting to lose interest in this show, and I can't believe they canceled Batgirl and Stargirl for this. However, there are some things in this episode I actually did like, and there are some things I did not like. This time for the review, I'm actually going to break things down similar to how I used to do in my older vids, where when I'm talking about something, the picture will actually line up this time. Because there are the good things I want to point out, I want those to match up, and then the bad things I just kind of don't. Well, I want those to match up too, but it's I just don't like those bad things. I will still say this show is still mid. However, I will say this show is about anywhere between 20 to 25 to 30 years out of date. Mostly 20 years and stuff. It's just an outdated show. When I watch this, I think of Smallville, I think of Birds of Prey. I like Smallville, I like Birds of Prey, but I like them back in that era of time. I can still rewatch it now, have a good time, but still cringe at all the early 2000s stuff. Case in point, there is a song that popped up in this episode, and I was just kind of like, I know that song. I don't remember the band, but I know the band now because I looked it up. And it's a band I'm a fan of. However, this band hasn't really had a hit song since like the 90s, and this song is from 1995. I'm just kind of like, why in the world are they playing this song of all songs? If this is supposed to be geared to a younger audience, why in the world are you going back about 28 years ago and stuff to a song I totally remember? But like when I was a teenager, but still, it's like I'm an older person, and it's like, why don't you have music of today or something like that? Don't take me back to the 90s and everything. And the song kind of didn't even match up like what was going on in like the scene. This show has a weird format. I'll give you that right here, right now. It just has a very strange, awkward format and everything. It's like it's supposed to be like another DC property. It's not part of the Arrowverse. It feels like totally outdated back in 20 years ago, but then it's like, who exactly is it catering to? Even people of my era are more in tune with the newer stuff that's coming out, whether it's good or bad, whether you like the Arrowverse, whether you like Titans or Doom Patrol, or you do not, then comic book stuff has upped this game, you know what I'm saying? And whether you like those shows in the Arrowverse, Doom Patrol, or Titans or not, they have a higher quality than this freaking show. This is a very low budget show. Now, every show has its set piece that they constantly keep going back to. And the set pieces here, they're starting to run out of them because two of them is in Gotham Manor, and they're not allowed to use that no more. And actually three, and then Wayne Tower, and not allowed to use that no more because it keeps getting raided by the cops and the police and stuff. And so it's kind of like they're really running out of everything. And things in here just baffle me. I have to see the bat suit. I really have to, because it really making me wonder what the heck the Batman running around in. I don't believe it's a tuxedo type suit. I believe he was just going somewhere that night. But when you look at Carrie Kelly and everything, and now she's wearing a completely different outfit than she did in the first episode for her Robin stuff. And I'm just kind of like, so she literally just runs around in whatever outfit she's in and just has goggles. And so she literally meant what she said when Bruce just gave her the goggles. And it's like, seriously, dude. So, I don't know. It's just like, I don't know how long we're going to stay. Next week episode looks like it's going to be where a bunch of bad stuff's going to happen. A gang of some sort. And the kids are all like, oh, we have to save everybody. But you're wanted by the freaking police. And so, of course, when they try to save people, it's going to make some people think, oh, maybe they're not as bad as we thought. And why are they trying to save people if they're wanted and killing Batman and stuff like that? So, it's going to be one of those. And once again, that is outdated. That is so outdated. In fact, it's back from like 28 years ago from a show I watched called 2, a Canadian drama. I was unable to watch it when I was growing up as a preteen because it came on late Sunday nights on CBS on syndication, and my mom saw the TV light on. She's like, "Go to bed," because I had school the next day. So I would try to sneak and watch it, and I was unable to. So then 20 years ago, I found it on YouTube. And it's literally a dude who, okay, get this, right? There's a guy who was set up for a murder, and now the police are after him. And it was his twin that set him up. He never knew he had a twin. And so he's running from the police. He's running all over Canada. The police are constantly chasing him. But in every episode, he's literally saving people. So that should tell the police, hey, if this dude's a serial murderer, why is he rescuing people all of a sudden? And they could never put 2 and 2 together. The show only lasts for 1 season. So anyway, and this is how this is going to turn out to be, I bet you. And it really makes you wonder how stupid Harvey Dent is, unless he is really two-faced and doesn't know that he is. If they don't do that, I'm telling you right here now, it will be a waste of the character. It will be a waste of the actor. If they don't pull that twist where Harvey's pulling the strings, big bad Harv, and the good one has no idea, it will be a waste. It will be a complete waste. Yes, people will see it a mile coming away, but it will be a complete waste. And so let's actually get into some things in this episode, things I like, things I don't like, and stuff like that. So it starts off with that 1995 song from Garbage. I'm only happy when it rains. Oh, I heard that. I'm just like, why are they playing that? Now they're shopping. They broke into a store to steal some clothes. Somebody tripped the silent alarm, and here come the cops. And so you'd think if they're wanted by the police and the talons and the court of owls are looking for them, why in the world are they breaking into a store when they have clothes literally on their back? Well, soon as they leave, guess who finds them? Little Robin. And Robin's all like, I was like, I got like a disturbance on like the call about somebody breaking into a store, blah, blah, blah. So it's them. And all I could think of is, dude, Robin, what the world are you wearing? One, she's still not wearing a costume. Whatever she wore in the first outfit, she ain't wearing in this one. She's wearing a purple jacket and black pants. And she always has a stupid book bag on her. And all of those goggles. And not only is that, but she never wears gloves. How dumb is that? You're gonna leave fingerprints behind. But her Robin gear is literally just whatever she wears and those stupid goggles. And I'm like, how in the world did Batman make you Robin? He didn't even give you a suit. And so I don't like that. I don't like that at all. And so like she asked them, what are they doing as she's back in their hideout and stuff. And their hideout is, of course, I'll get to that a little bit later. And so that's another thing I don't like. They literally tell her, actually, I'll just get into that now. So the hideout is literally the school. They're hiding out at the school at night and sometimes during the day. It's that watchtower area that's on the very, very top in the attic, and supposedly nobody ever goes there, and you need a code to get inside. So only faculty have it, but somehow Stephanie and Turner have it because Stephanie's a hacker. And he tells her literally like, we have food in the cafeteria. We can take a shower in the shower room and everything. But he needs clean clothes, and they're not walking around in the same stinky crap. And all I could think of is, dude, you better rough it because everybody's looking for you behind. You can literally wash your clothes in the sink and everything like that. You don't have to go out and buy new clothes every outfit. I mean, not every outfit, every episode. That is so. Do you see what I'm saying when the writing is stupid? I can't get to that level of stupidity. That's dumb. You're wanted by the police and you're changing your clothes every episode because you a fancy rich boy and you have to wear the nice stuff. And I'm just thinking to myself, y'all risk getting killed or arrested for that. And that's so stupid. Now, as for their hideout, Now, how is somebody not going to notice that there are kids living in the school? First of all, the moment they turn on the electricity or they turn on the water at night, it's gonna alert, like, the water and the gas company and stuff. So somebody's gonna know. Not only that, but all schools have some form, or at least a fancy school like that will have some form of like security and everything, walking the grounds. Also, now I don't know about fancy rich schools like that, but when I was in high school, towards my last year, they started having video cameras. And then when I was in college, I don't remember them having video cameras. But when I came back to visit years later, about 10 years later and stuff, I'm pretty sure they have video cameras now because when I went to go sit in the go-kart and everything, something you're not supposed to do, like the little golf course, the golf court thing, you're not supposed to do that, but I sat there anyway taking a picture, and next thing I know, I started getting tailed by cops. So they had to have had cameras somewhere because a long time ago when I was a student, somebody stole one of the golf carts and put it in the pond. And stuff. So you think a fancy prep school, rich kid school would have cameras and stuff. So that is a dumb hideout for them. I would have preferred if it was an abandoned building and crap. And so, like, they need supplies and gear, so they have to sneak into like Wayne Tower. Why? Because Harvey Dent and the rest of the cops, they broke into Wayne Manor and they down in the Batcave and they stole everything. Now, here's the interesting funny part. How in the world did they know where the Batcave was, and how in the world did they get into it? Somebody had to have tipped them off. It's not Stephanie, and it certainly isn't the Gotham Knights. Now, it might be pretend Alfred, Cressida, but she works for the Court of Owls and everything. In the comics, she does. And she burnt the will of Bruce Wayne. And she looks over Turner. Now, she literally told Harvey, I had no idea that Batman was Bruce Wayne in the Batcave. So if she's telling the truth, how in the world did they get down there and everything? Like, how did they know? Unless it's when stupid Turner and Stephanie came out the Batcave to greet the cops in the first episode. Perhaps they left the door open or something like that. Hey, look, I don't know. The writing is very odd. You know what I'm saying? I still don't understand why they left the Batcave in the first place in the first episode if they knew the cops were in the house and couldn't find it. So, yeah. So anyway, the mayor's pissed and everything, and you don't know who else cops you can trust, and it seems like Harvey's coming around, but they're all like, well, it just proves that the kids are even more like dangerous. And there's a really cool scene that I do like in the police department. The commissioner's there, and like the mayor's there. I think he left, and then Denton is there. And they're trying to look for those cops, those crooked cops from the first episode, so they call it a cell. It starts to rain. There are boxes on the desk. They open one up and it's the head of the dude who got his head like Highlandered off in the last episode. And so I'm like, dude, that's pretty edgy right there. And then they call the rest of the cops and there are more boxes in the police station. And so I'm like, dude, that's awesome. So like, the Talon, the Court of Owls, they got rid of those dirty cops because not only could they not do the job correctly, but it makes the kids look more guilty because the last person who saw them was the kids. So now, they're still looking for the kids even more. So Stephanie and Brody, they're talking at school, and Brody, she tells him like, I hacked into the banks with a bad computer, and he's all like, not only did you do something illegal hacking into banks, but you did it with the bad computer. And so he's all like, you have to turn her in, and blah, 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 blah. So anyway, the cops want to know too, hey, who hacked those banks and everything while Turner was getting arrested? Well, they could think it could only be one person. Stephanie. So they interrogate her. And guess what Brody does? He says it was him. And because he really likes her and stuff. I'm just kind of like, you weenie. Why are you going to take the fall for a girl? And if you hack the system and they think you know something, why aren't they arresting him and everything for withholding evidence? The writing makes no sense in this show. So the Gotham Knights, they have to sneak into Wayne Tower to get some equipment because all the equipment is gone in the Batcave. And so three of them are in the car debating what they should do. And while Carrie and Turner are up there, so is Duella, Harper, and Colin. See, I remember this time their names. And actually, tell you the truth, these are my favorite stars of the show. I like their acting. They all have personality to them. And, we're actually getting more development with them than we are with really anybody else. And so, like, Duella, whatever her name is, she just wants to get the heck on out of there. And she realized that, she could fence that watch and split it both on three ways, and the three of them could just get on out of there. Now, they stole a security car from Wayne Enterprises. And she's all like, this is the perfect cover. Nobody's going to be expecting, us to be in this car. But of course, Colin does not want to do that. His whole spiel is that those are his friends and he's not going to turn his back on them. And she's all like, look, man, we can get different identities and run away and blah, blah. And so Harper's thinking about it. But he tells Harper, look, I went my whole life going by a different name, and I finally got to pick my name and everything, means his transgender name. He ain't giving that up, and he's not going back to, having to do what others want him to do and all this other stuff and all that other crap. And so, he's sticking with his friends and stuff. So she decides to stick with them too. And Duella's like, peace be with you. And she gone. And so she goes to the antique dude. But when he started looking on, how much this would cost, the buyer is somebody who works for the court, and they pay double, so he double crosses her. Talon comes in and stabs him straight through the chest. So she runs out and gets in the car, and this is the part I love, man. This was actually kind of cool. Now, this part I hate right here. She ran in slow motion outside. This is so outdated. This is so outdated. Who does that in slow motion? However, it's supposed to build up tense and suspense and everything. That would have worked perfectly if the music that was accompanied was better, and if we saw Talon behind her as she ran. When she ran, we didn't see nobody behind her. So it would have been more scary, like a slasher movie, if Talon was behind her. She hops in the car and Talon just cuts through the engine and she can't start it. Then the funny part I like, he tries to crack open the window with the sword and can't because it's bulletproof. And he's just whacking left and right and she's just laughing at him. So he does the cool, obvious thing. He takes out the gas line and gas is everywhere. And he just starts scraping the sword on the cement, making sparks. Now she's about to burn to death. I love that. However, before all this happened, Talon was at Wayne Tower along with Carrie and that of Turner. Now, they go in there and they just get a bunch of batarangs and grapple guns and stuff like that. Still weird how when you open up that little hidden department, it only comes out the mask and some bat equipment, but not the suit. So it does make you wonder, if Bruce Wayne had to turn into Batman at Wayne Tower, where in the world is the suit? And we know there has to be a suit because Turner literally said, where is the bat suit in the first episode? So we know there's a legit Batman suit. So where in the world is it? Anyway, they find Bruce's journal, and Bruce been writing in there about how he's investigating the Court of Owls, how they hired Joe Chill, which is from another part of the comics, not the main one, but another one. And it was also in that Batman versus Robin something animated movie. And so it turns out they also killed his grandfather and stuff. So they've been looking for the Waynes, and he's been investigating. There's also something else in there that catches their attention, but Talon has showed up. And I actually like Talon. Talon's cool. He's about comic book accurate. He's really good with the katana. If it's a he, I'm not sure if it is anymore. Now, the actor who plays, you can find that on IMDb, it is an actor and a legit actor, not a stunt double. So we have not seen this dude's face on the show, so it could be him. If it's not, I think it's pretend Alfred and everything, Cressida and everything, because I'll get to that a little bit later. So anyway, they trap him inside. They're on the outside. Here comes the rest. And so they're all like, how are we going to escape this place? And blah, 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 and stuff like this. So Carrie uses the zip line grapple gun. And that's cool, but the CGI is not. And my only problem with that is they ask her, have you ever used this before? And she doesn't even answer. And of course, Dave never answered that before. So you just can't zip line and land perfectly and everything, but we don't even get to see them land. So in a way, it cuts from that, and it goes back to Duella and the talon dude's trying to attack her, and she's trying, and then the Gotham Knights are trying to save her. Now, this is the part that pisses me off. Turner took a sword. He took a katana that was in Bruce's office. And now we get the first and only fight, really, of the episode. It's Carrie and Turner against Talon. And they are able to hold their own in a fight against a skilled martial artist ninja. How in the world is that possible? This dude is literally chopping people's heads off, but yet they can hold toe-to-toe with this dude. I don't understand that. Yeah, she's been trained by Batman, and yeah, he took martial arts, but it ain't that easy. You know what I'm saying? And this is the part that really pisses me off. We've seen Turner fence in the first episode, but he has a katana in this episode. Fencing with a fencing sword and fighting with a samurai katana sword are two completely different things. You cannot use the same technique on both. And so if he knew how to fence, who the world taught him how to fight with a katana? A katana handle is very long. You have to use both hands. A fencing sword has a tiny handle, and you have to use finesse. It's all about the wrist when you're fighting in fencing, and it's about stabbing your opponent. A katana is about slicing your opponent. And it's never, neither swords are used for hacking. That's just in the movies and TV shows. And so it's kind of like there's a technique for both swords, just like there's a technique for a claymore sword. So how in the world does a fencer know how to use a katana? It makes no sense. But he did say Bruce gave him martial arts training, took him to like a place and he learned it. And I'll get to that a little bit later. So in a way, they whoop on Talon and everything like that, and they escape. And I'm still pissed about the whole sword and the different techniques. I mean, the only time you're ever going to see somebody use a katana in a hacking kind of way is Leonardo from Ninja Turtles. And that's only because, surprise, surprise, his swords actually aren't katanas. No, that's just a misconception. So when they're back at the watchtower and everything, the trio's having a talk, and Duella's all like, thanks for coming back for me and everything after how I left y'all and stuff. And they say, don't thank them, thank like Turner. So she does. And it seems like they're going to hint to a romance between Turner and Duella and everything. She's really starting to turn around and starting to act less zany in this episode, which is really a good thing. And I think it's a little too soon to be starting a romance between those two, or at least love interest, but it's also poetic at the same time because, Batman and Joker hate each other, and, Joker, they both wanted to kill each other, and one did. And also in the comics and other animated stuff, Joker seems like he's in love with Batman and feels like a jilted lover every time Batman doesn't pay attention to him. Or won't let him to do what he wants to do. So in a way, it's kind of poetic and stuff. However, Turner is combing through Bruce's journal, and there are 2 pages missing. And he wants to know, what was in those last 2 pages. Well, we find out. Kinda. Carrie's back home and everything, and she has the 2 pages she ripped out and everything. And at the end, Bruce wrote, Turner can never find out the truth and everything. So it's like, what is that truth? And it does make you wonder and make you kind of interested to watch the rest. But here's a couple of theories. The biggest theory is that Turner's parents were part of the Court of Owls, and either the court killed them and Bruce was unable to save them, or Bruce killed them, because we now know this Bruce is a murderer and stuff. And so maybe he feels guilty that he killed or let the Turner's parents be killed. And so that's why he adopted him. Now, Bruce has given Turner training, took him to martial art classes and all this and fencing classes. Turner believes Bruce was training him for something, to prepare to be something. If Bruce didn't kill the parents, then most likely Turner could be the biological son of Bruce, and Bruce wants him to take over when Bruce died. Or perhaps he's a clone of Bruce and everything and wants him to take over, kind of like a Terry McGinnis situation. That's my theory on that. Now back to the whole who I think Talon might be. So we see Cressida and everything. And so like with her, she's talking to the mayor, and the mayor, tells her, she tells him, we helped get you elected, we took out your rival and everything. And he's all thankful and everything, but he tells her to tell the court to keep your assassin, under lock and key or something like that, because he's tired of having to clean up like a bunch of decapitated heads all on the ground. This is when she gets pissed at him, the moment he brought up Talon. So I'm starting to think, what if she is secretly Talon and everything, and she's the main assassin? Because think about it, how in the world did Turner was able to beat Talon in a fight unless she was holding back? And she will only hold back because she does have to watch over like Turner and stuff. So I really think she could be like Talon, and she could be that mystery person because she's mysterious in the comics and stuff. And so that's basically the entire episode. It's still very mid. I'm still very uninterested. I'll probably tap out of this show probably another episode or two. I just want to see what the fourth one will go, because you kind of can figure out what the third one's going to go, but I want to see what the fourth one at least is going to be like, because there's only 11 episodes in the entire season that I can tell, because I went to IMDb and everybody's listed as 11 except for Turner, who's only listed as 10. And the Turner dude, he's British. I never would have thought of that, because I figured that he was British because his British accent came out in this episode strongly. And so I looked on Google, and yeah, he is. Now, as for acting, some people's acting is getting worse since the first episode. So here's the thing. These three I like their acting. They're fine. The other people, however, and Misha, he's good too, but he's just kind of boring, like a goody two shoes. But everybody else showing acting in the show is good, except for 4 people. Brody just needs acting lessons. It's just I'm just not feeling it. Not to hurt his feelings, I'm just not feeling it. Now the other 3, their actings are the one I just don't like in the show. Stephanie, I'm shocked and surprised by, because she was in one episode of Doom Patrol as one of Jane's personalities, and I actually liked her acting in that. Here, I don't know what the world happened. The dude who plays Turner, he just tends to look in one direction for too long, and it's like, dude, move your eyes around or something. Then there's Carrie. The only thing I would say about her is open your mouth when you talk, have some expression, and just try to be a little bit more lively, and just don't stand there and just talk. It's not to hurt the feelings. Alrighty, well, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.